analysis examines inflation, its causes, effects, types, and strategies to manage it. The report is tailored for policymakers in Thailand, offering insights to central bankers and government officials, while promoting public understanding to mitigate inflation's impact on personal finance. This element provides structural support and aesthetic appeal, reflecting great cultural values. While inflation can create uncertainty and reduce savings, moderate inflation has benefits, such as supporting monetary policy flexibility, encouraging investment, and preventing deflation. Economists generally support maintaining low and stable inflation to reduce resistance risk, enhance labor market adjustment, and enable effective monetary policy.
We go through the geographical area in Thailand. Country located in the center of mainland Southeast Asia, located wholly within the tropics, Thailand encompasses diverse ecosystem, including the highly forested areas of the northern frontier, the fertile rice fields of the central plains, the broad plateau of the northeast, and the rugged coast along the narrow southern peninsula. Next, this is the demographical profile. The demographics of Thailand paint a statistical portrait of the national population. Demographic includes such measures as population density and distribution ethnicity, educational levels, public health metrics, fertility, economic status, religious affiliation, and other characteristics of the populace.
Okay, so for the inflation data of Thailand in 2013 until 2023, based on the graph, we can see that on 2013 until 2019, inflation rate still low and comparatively stable. This symbolizes a period of constant price stability, which caused by the efficient monetary policy and stable growth in the economy. But in the year 2020, we can see that the inflation in that year dropped sharply because of the pandemic era, which is COVID-19. During this pandemic, inflation dropped sharply, most likely due to decreased consumer demand and economic slowdown because of the lockdown and global economic contraction. Next, in the year 2021 until 2023, inflation increased significantly due to the pandemic recovery in demand caused by the limited availability of supply during the COVID-19 pandemic. Lastly, as the economic recovery advanced and inflationary pressure subsided, inflation in 2023 decreased to 1.23%, that shows stabilization. It shows that policies have been successful in containing inflation or bringing down the price of commodities globally. Moving forward, to maintain sustainable inflation levels in the future, close monitoring of domestic monetary policy is very important.
Trend and issue related to the inflation of Thailand. Such the trend inflation of Thailand is, in recent years, Thailand has faced several inflationary pressures. An outline of the main causes and trends surrounding Thailand inflation is provided below, like elevated and erratic rates of inflation. Thailand has seen consistently high inflation rates over the last 10 years. Thailand has experienced persistently low inflation rates in recent years. How about core inflation, which excludes volatile energy and food price, has remained unsteady but subdued, reflecting weak underlying demand. And fluctuations in global oil price significantly affect Thailand's inflation, as the country relies heavily on energy imports. In periods of low global energy price, inflation remains constrained. How about issue inflation of the Thailand, such as subdued domestic demand? Thailand's low inflation reflects weak consumer spending and investment, indicating that the economy is not operating at full potential. Next, monetary policy challenge. Persistently low inflation limit the effectiveness of monetary policy. The Bank of Thailand has maintained low policy interest rates to stimulate demand but face constraints in further rate cut. Last, risk of deflation. Prolonged periods of low inflation raise concern about deflation, which could discourage spending and investment, further slowing economic growth. For example, why the rate of inflation dramatically increased in 2000? In 2000, global oil price surged due to increased demand and OPEC production cuts. As an energy importing nation, Thailand experienced cost-push inflation, where higher energy costs increased the price of goods and services. Following the 1997 until 1998 Asian financial crisis, Thailand's economy began recovering in 2000. The rebound in economic activity, combined with rising consumer demand, and drove up price across sectors. And what are the reasons of Malaysia facing increased trend in unemployment rate? While Malaysia's inflation trends are domestic, its inflationary connection with Thailand can be analysed in two ways, such as shared regional and global factors like oil price. Both Malaysia and Thailand are influenced by global oil price trends. While economic independence as part of ASEAN, Malaysia and Thailand have interconnect economies through trade and investment. Inflationary pressures in one country can indirectly affect the other via higher price for import goods.
Discuss the effect of inflation. First, it increased cost of living. Inflation drives up the price of everyday necessities such as food, housing, transportation, and utilities. Secondly, impact on tourism sector. Inflation can increase the cost of travel, accommodation, food, and services, making Thailand less attractive to international tourists. Thirdly, rising production and business costs. Inflation leads to higher costs for businesses in terms of raw materials, wage, transportations, and energy. As businesses face increasing costs, they often pass these expenses on to consumers by raising the price of goods and services. Next, monetary policy and interest rates. When inflation rises, Thailand's central bank, the Bank of Thailand, may respond by increasing interest rates to control inflationary pressures. Next, exchange rates and import costs. Inflation can weaken the Thai baht relative to other major currencies, especially if inflation rates in Thailand are higher than those in its trading partners. Lastly, widening income inequality. Inflation tends to have a disproportionate impact on different segments of the population.
So we go into the solution. Adjusting interest rate, raising interest rate. Higher interest rate make borrowing more expensive. Lowering interest rate if inflation is below the target range and the economy is sluggish. Open market operation can sell it in the open market to reduce the money supply. Reserve requirement. By raising it for banks, the Bank of Thailand can reduce the amount of money that bank can create through loan. Discount rate. A higher discount rate make it more expensive for bank for borrow money. Forward guidance. The Bank of Thailand can use forward guidance to signal its future policy intention by indicating that it will keep interest rate high for an extended period. Quantitative tightening. To raise interest rate, the Bank of Thailand can engage in quantitative tightening by reducing the size of its balance sheet.
Okay, next, for other necessary and related information about Thailand is, the main instrument used to measure inflation in Thailand is the Consumer Price Index CPI. These include the main categories of goods and services, such as non-alcoholic, beverage and food, housing and furnishing, health and medical service, and so on. The Bank of Thailand also focuses its monetary policy choices on core inflation, and Bank of Thailand (BOT), as known as the Central Bank for Thailand, is in charge of monetary policy. They play key role for Thailand on economy management, inflation control, currency stabilization, and sustainable growth. Also, Thailand is the second largest economy in Southeast Asia after Indonesia and boasts a diversified economy in Thailand. Thailand is one of the world's most visited countries, and tourism makes up a significant property of its gross domestic product. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has a significant effect on this industry, which caused a change in recovery economic strategies.
Next, recommendation on how to solve the problems based on students' opinion. First, increase financial education. As a student, I believe improving financial literacy among young people and the general population is crucial. Understanding inflation, how it works, and its impact on personal finances will help individuals make informed financial decisions. Secondly, support for part-time work opportunities. From a student perspective, it's essential to have more flexible work opportunities that allow students to earn their income while continuing their education. Lastly, strengthen social welfare programs. The governments could expand programs like food subsidies, housing assistance, and student financial aids to help people cope with rising living costs.
In conclusion, inflation in Thailand has been influenced by various internal and external factors, including post-pandemic recovery, rising global energy and food prices, and currency fluctuations. The government and central bank have worked to stabilize inflation through monetary policies and fiscal measures, but challenges remain due to global economic uncertainties. As Thailand continues its recovery, inflation is expected to gradually stabilize, assuming global supply chains improve and commodity prices moderate. However, ongoing attention to global trends, energy costs, and domestic demand will be crucial for managing future inflation level effectively.